Hey all, this is NTom.
And this is THD.
And welcome to the HellfireComms live playthrough of Steven Universe Save the Light for the PlayStation 4. I have actually been wanting to play this game, never mind LP it for quite a while, but what with the Patreon quick looks and whatnot, I've been I've got a big backlog to work through, so to speak, so let's begin. THD is going to be my, I would say, back-driving kind of guy on this, my wingman, so to speak. He's beaten the game. I haven't.
There was a powerful weapon.
Just let the intro play out a little bit here, filling you in on the previous game, which was Attack the Light, which I haven't played because that's on phones.
It was really bad news.
Basically revolved around all these, like, creatures of light going in, causing damage. You utilize the cheeseburger backpack to, like, buff up the gems and let them do stuff.
That's true, and then just kind of have them do different stuff for that, so it was a very simple kind of game, but it was enough of a setup to kind of get into this more meaty sequel, as it will.
Sadly, it wasn't actually well received critically, was Save the Light, because when it launched, Grumpy Face Studios, who also made the previous game, yeah, they didn't really iron out all the bugs, because they're not a super big AAA studio, so I guess it was maybe a bit more ambitious, they bit off a bit more they could chew, but from what I've seen, it remains extremely faithful to the show. Like, it's got a great visual style, it's got, you know, the voice actors returning, like we have Zach Callison as Steven on the right, Steven Universe. He's half human, half gem. What is a gem? Well, they're basically hard light aliens, and they store themselves in gems, and we'll get more into that as we go on, because I don't want to be here all day.
Yeah, I mean, like, there's a lot of lore to kind of jump into. I do like how it just immediately begins after the events of Attack the Light for that. But yeah, kind of one of the major reasons I'm sort of here for that is that I am actually a really big Steven Universe fan. If you know me as somebody who doesn't really kind of watch a lot of TV these days. So it's really hard to get me to watch shit, but Steven Universe always kind of interests me from the beginning, and eventually a while back, Tom we got together, we marathoned the show all the way down. You know, I really, really liked it. You know, lots of great writing, lots of great lore for that. It's not perfect, of course, but I mean, it's better than some of the other stuff out there. So yeah, I mean, with this game, at the time, and, you know, throughout all of Steven Universe's lifespan, there's always been kind of a dearth of content for that. So this is actually, like, I think a level of canon where, as long as it's not contradicted by the show, then it's okay for that. And like Tom said, it's very faithful. You can tell it is a licensed game. They, you know, bless their heart, Grumpy Face Studios, they did try. It's, you know, had problems, obviously, in terms of the technical quality, the fact they kind of had to rush it out, and there's also gameplay decisions that, as we go along, you'll kind of find they don't really gel very well. I'll kind of, you know, nag about it as we go for that. But other than that, yeah, you know, it's a really faithful kind of RPG. And, you know, again, if you are a Steven Universe fan, you're willing to put up with some of its weirder moments, yeah, you'll get a huge kick out of this game.
Basically how it plays is, think of Paper Mario, and you're sort of on the right track. It's got all of those, you know, press button before you get hit to dodge, press button before you attack to do more damage and do a follow-up attack, and so on. And it's got all kinds of, like, collectibles to find, characters to interact with, and whatnot. I know pretty much, like, 60% of the game via LPs, and I know how it ends, but otherwise I'm excited to just actually, you know, play the game itself.
Paper Mario is kind of on the nose there for a little bit, although it's kind of weirdly based on real time, based on positioning. We'll get more into it as we, you know, eventually get into a fight for that. But one thing I'll say off of the gate, I really love the art style they used for this game. They used, like, their design philosophy was using, like, the
file models.
The models when you see somebody really far away. And the whole game is set up like this, so it looks really good for that, especially considering the budget. So I think it was actually a really good idea.
Yeah, for sure.
Focus on it this way, yeah.
Now, if you're wondering when this actually takes place, it is canon to the show. It's roughly sometime mid to late season 4, and where we see a character in Beach City, which is actually based on all the like beach towns and whatnot. Rebecca Sugar and her brother Steven Sugar, who this Steven is actually based based on visited as kids. Where was I going with that? Yes, characters. Yeah, you'll see why it has to take place in Season 4, because shenanigans have been happening in Season 5, and spoiler alert, we will be talking upwards of Season 5, Episodes 17 and 18. Can't go back, and a single pale rose. I'm not gonna, splurge, plot details in the first episode, but if we happen to talk about them, yeah, there you go. You're in the know.
Yeah, so you got the official spoiler warning. You also got the official spoiler warning if you got leaked it by Cartoon Network early, which is a thing that happened apparently.
Jesus, yeah, that's like fucking Season 5 finale and whatnot, but hey, we got we got choices, Hell Dragon, and you're my wingman, so first choice falls to you, mate.
Maybe it wants a donut!
Yeah, that's Steven-esque. Basically, if, you react in a certain way, you answer a character's question in a certain way, you have a chance of gaining relationship points. And in the case of, Steven and Connie's relationship, once that maxes out, you can fuse into Stevonnie.
It's basically, think of the dual text from Chrono Trigger, but they only fill up when the relationship meter is quote-unquote full for that. And we'll talk about that a little bit as we get into it and my admitted problems with it. But other than that, it's a cool, it really plays to the theme of the show where, everybody's friends are all helping each other out for that. And it adds a little kind of fun, kind of choosing different dialogue options for that. You're not going to get anything like drastic different endings or character relationships that way. This isn't, early BioWare, guys, but at the same time, just a little fun.
So we got Lars and we got Sadie here. Sadie is voiced by Kate Mikushi, who I believe is the current voice of Velma in the Scooby-Doo series. And Lars is voiced by Matthew Moy, who I think was in Two Broke Girls, Two Broke Women, whatever that sitcom's called. Yeah, spoiler, Lars fucking died on the Gem Homeworld, and Steven revived him with his tears, so he should be here right now if this was set in Season 5. He's actually on his way back to Earth with a bunch of off-color gems, and off-color basically is what it says on the tin. It's a gem who comes out of their exit hole and acts not according to how they should act, like they do stuff not designated to their caste and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, we're gonna have to find a nice way to segue in all the Steven Universe lore for that, because there's so much of it, and I've got the wiki here kind of ready to go, even though I have seen the whole series for that. So we'll try to not info dump you all at once for that, but just as much as needed.
Here's one of my favorite characters, Greg Universe, or Greg DeMeo, to give his birth name.
Oh yeah, that's true. Yeah, his actual, Steven and Greg's actual last name is DeMeo. And I saw a screen where somebody edited the intro of that and they removed the universe with DeMeo and Steven just has a what face on it.
This was a big thing leading into Save the Light. Original gem villain, and it's kind of cool actually, because before she even appears, I can tell you that the gem we'll be fighting is actually a type of garnet.
And I'm pulling her up super quick. Where is her name in the wiki?
It's gonna show you anyway, mate. Don't worry about it. Don't break a sweat.
She'll eventually reveal her name soon enough, but she is actually voiced by someone named Christine Baranski. Sue, I'm sure is somebody we're supposed to know. I don't, admittedly, for that. But
I do, she's actually.
Oh, you do? Really? What else has she been in?
She played Martha May Who in the live-action Grinch movie.
Oh, so that's where you know her from.
Yeah, she was the mayor's girlfriend who eventually hooked up with the Grinch.
Beep.
Yeah, but let me tell you, this particular actress for this gem, she hams it the fuck up in this game. Probably because they only had enough money to pay her to do exactly one line lead per take for that. And, oh man, she just absolutely goes monster, which fits the character pretty well, I think.
Get over here.
So, here comes another spoiler, and it's one of the oldest ones. Garnet, the Crystal Gems Garnet, is actually not a true garnet. She's a fusion comprised of a ruby and a sapphire, and it's kind of funny because Rebecca says on Homeworld there are singular gem versions of fusions we know. So there's an opal that isn't made out of an amethyst and a pearl, and there must be a sugalite not made out of a garnet, or a ruby sapphire and an amethyst. And yeah, this is one subclass of garnet.
Yeah, and you know, it's really... oh, yeah, I gotta make a choice. No, leave him alone!
No, don't take me!
Don't take me, my other me.
He doesn't want to go with you.
Connie will be our berserker for this particular thing, or the knight, if you prefer. She's the one who carries Rosa's sword around. Rose Quartz being Steven's... Mom, sorry. A bit of lore got caught in my throat there.
Yeah, you'll have to watch out for that. That thing will make you choke with all the revelations.
What's that down there?
Ew, it looks like... Are you pink? You look very sick.
I'd just like to apologize for saying gross humans. The purpose of my content is to entertain.
In the hands of humans?
Yeah, she was the one who originally used the prism to fight in the Gem War, and yeah, I guess she left it behind when the fucking corruption bomb was set off. And yeah, flash forward a few thousand years and here we are.
Well, the lore will be also fleshed out for this particular character and the gems role in and as we go on in the game.
What do you think of Hessenite's design, mate, visually?
I like Hessenite as a gem. They don't spend enough time with her, I think, and I'm still not sure about the afro thing going on here for that. I'd like to see, like, an official, like, if she was in the show.
Yeah.
I would like to see a design for that. That might work better. But, I mean, I like her as a character. They just don't spend a lot of time with her, and I really wish they could have fleshed her out even more.
Oh, well. Maybe there's, like, you know, comics they could bring her in. There is actually a Steven Universe comic. That's considered, like, second-tier canon. It's, like, canon unless the show contradicts it.
Alright, here we go. So this is the battle system. They'll kind of teach you how to play, but I'll give you the rundown here. Pretty much what goes on is that everything... Yeah, they'll walk it through here. And everything's driven on a point system, where every ability uses points that you regenerate over time on the corner here. Opens up a lot of interesting opportunities where you don't necessarily have to stick to a traditional turn-based order. You can kind of mix and match, do your own combos. Have one person just do like all the shit if you want. Oh, here's a move I really like. I like his charging star action over here.
Nice. Now, I am playing on a bit of a sound delay because I'm using a capture card, so I think I'll have to rely on the visual cues here.
That's true. And again, as they're telling you, you know, you get new star points at it. But it's an interesting idea in terms of having everything rely on star points for that. This is something they did in the previous game. Again, you can be a little more mix and match. But the problem is here, because everything's kind of a weird quasi-real-time kind of thing, you kind of have to wait for it to manually recharge for that. And since every action is derived from these star points, as a result, it makes certain builds more favorable for this. I'm going to sit here and I'm going to tell you this now as somebody who's beaten the game. You're pretty much just going to want Connie the whole time. Because she's near the end of the game. She's the only one really kind of worth a damn, I'll be honest with you, with her build and the fact, you know, you can get her to do some of her best shit really cheap.
Well, you know, let's not go out of our way to do, like, a cheap build, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, fair enough. Well, you'll build however you want, that's fine. I'll just tell you that Connie's is the best. She's probably one of the better characters in the game for that, but, yeah, I mean, as you go through, you know, I do like that Connie is part of the crew, and, you know, this time you can control Steven, and in a moment we'll get somebody else that you don't normally expect.
Yeah.
For that. So there's a nice diverse cast, and of course the gems are going to come in later, of course, to be party members for that. So you get a lot of opportunities to kind of mix and match the party you want.
I get you. How would you say it compares to other, like, RPGs using this style of play, mate? Were you disappointed? Were you happy with the experience?
Well, bringing up again some of my earlier criticisms for that, the game really kind of wants you to do it real time, and it wants you to really kind of position your shit. There are other characters later on that rely on positioning to set up some of their moves for that, but you don't really control it that much, and as a result, the combat kind of, again, it's this weird quasi-real-time, never really quite gels. There are some builds and some strategies that are clearly more dominant than the others for that. I just think that the main reason it doesn't really bake together sometimes is because, again, it's a licensed game that had to be pumped out really fast. And I think more time in the oven would have helped and some other gameplay design decisions would have made the combat system a little bit better and more satisfying. I mean, I didn't mind what was going on here, but after a while, you kind of really have to rely on it.
Yeah, Mayor Dewey, voiced by Joel Hodgson of Mystery Science Theater 3000 fame. He's no longer Mayor Dewey, he is but Citizen Dewey. Nanafour, the matriarch of Fish Stew Pizza, one of the shops on the boardwalk, restaurants even, won the election and took over, and she seems a lot more competent, and Dewey seems a lot more happy now, so it's win-win all around.
I really wish, and hopefully this is something they'll do before the show ends, I hope they give a cameo with Mike Nelson as well in the show, and then, he has to interact with Joel. I just think that'd be hilarious.
Alright, Connie's, she's taken more licks than Steven, so, just get the relationship meter up a little bit. Come on, rush me. I will dodge every single one. Yeah. I'm actually doing much better at this than I thought. Maybe paying attention to my hubris would have helped.
Well, these guys are pretty easy, but you'll notice there as well, there's some tendency sometimes to feel like you want to try and interrupt attacks. It would look like you could for that, but sometimes you think, like, whenever they do their exclamation point, you can go, oh, I can interrupt this attack. You'll attack them, and then they'll just do it anyway, which kind of, I don't know, I think it would have been more strategy if you can knock them out of some attacks for that, especially the more dangerous enemies.
Okay. Oh. Is Greg gonna come in, or are we just gonna use the cheeseburger backpack right now? There you go, I was wondering when it would pop up.
Cheeseburger backpack is your item inventory. It's also in a cooldown meter, which I don't necessarily mind. It prevents you from kind of spamming items. But here's the major problem. If Steven falls in battle, you lose access to Cheeseburger backpack. So that's actually a huge problem, and you've got to make absolutely sure Steven stays alive, or you really seriously cripple yourself, especially later on in the game.
Well, he is the lord of the backpack, so it makes sense from a gameplay mechanics point of view, I suppose.
I guess, and this Steven DeMaio, he is the main character here, so I guess it's important to keep him alive.
Oh, I fucking love how, ooh, yeah, there you go, we got kudos. Sometimes that will pop up, and we've only got the one party member right now besides Steven, but you will get a choice down the line, so...
You want to be trying to get kudos because, as you saw up there, you saw the relationship meter. You can actually check that really quick to see who you want to give kudos, so you can build up their dual attack. Some of them are good, some of them aren't really worth a damn. I'll get more into it later down the line, but as you know me, that's just how I felt really going down as I was playing it.
Do your thing.
There you go. No waiting around. Time to slice and dice.
Star fruits and the point restoration items are the most important items in the game, and you will burn through a ton of them, especially during boss fights, so I really recommend stocking up as much as possible.
Well, getting all these perfects and whatnot really is refilling the gauge that much faster, so, yeah.
There are also characters later on with the ability to charge that gauge faster, and that makes them even more valuable than like other party members as a result. Because, again, star point management and the ability to generate it as quickly as possible, because it does literally everything else, is supremely important.
Booyah! Joel Hodgson is pleased.
Well, let's hope so. I mean, we saved his gigantic, freakish truck.
I can't believe PD turned that into a tater tots mobile.
Oh yeah, that's true, they did!
Yeah, hot to tot.
So, unfortunately, if you're not a huge fan of the townies, they're really only in this area, and mostly it's side quest land.
Yeah.
Pretty much. They don't really interact in the main part of the story. And again, some people are up and down about the townies. I don't mind them, but, I'm more interested in getting steady production and getting my lore. That's really kind of the main thing I want.
That's, like, the reasonable take on it, I think. I will never understand, like, people who are worried, like, they're taking fucking episode slots. Like Smash Bros. Characters being announced eat up slots and whatnot. Sorry, I just want to linger on that magnificent painting for a little bit. Vidalia, he is not.
Well, he tries,
Best Dad is here.
And I thought this was really cool. Greg is actually a party member in this game.
Yep.
And he has a really cool he's kind of like, and you know, with how the show is played out, he's not really a fighter. He's more of a support character. So here, he gets a really interesting ability where he can set up different jams to get different effects, like healing, again, increasing the speed at the star gauge, even doing damage, things like that. But I'm going to tell you out of the gate, the only one you're going to give a fuck about is Star Jam.
Yeah.
And that is pretty much the only thing you should be doing with Greg at all times. So...
Well, you know, I may book that trend and do exactly what the fuck I want, Mr. Man.
Well, that's fine, do what you want. I'm just saying, this is what happened to me, at least.
Okay, well, we gotta find Mayor Dewey's key now, so, let's head to the beach. Yeah. This is a thing Stephen cannot do in the show, and for reasons I can't go into right away, because I want to spend a little time not talking about the latest episodes. Doesn't really make a lot of sense, but I guess it's just an overworld movement thing. All the characters have one, just to make it move that little bit faster, I think.
It's their ability to kind of do an attack. Oh, wait, are we gonna... Oh, I thought we were gonna get into another choice, but apparently we are getting into another fight.
Oh my god, I can't believe Steven Universe is fucking dead. Don't worry, Connie, the main crystal gem right now, will cut you out of there.
Yeah, and you can switch between whatever character you're using. And again, like with the roll, everybody has an attack action on the board here for that.
Yeah.
Steven's roll, I wish, kind of went a little faster and farther as a locomotion sort of tool, but it's kind of shit for that, so... You can't really run in this game, so there's a lot of points where you'll be kind of just plodding around, trying to get places as quickly as possible.
This is just Greg's thing. You can just do this on the field, it's great.
I love the fact you can do a free play with him.
Very faithful to the layout of Beach City is the map in Save the Light. So kudos to Grumpy Face for basically pulling a stick of truth and like mapping out the town properly and whatnot.
Obviously, you know, with the development of this game, there was some parts Grumpy Face missed. I do have, again, problems with the design for that. But again, I don't necessarily think it's the studio's fault. They had to do this on a limited time crunch. It's a license game at the end of the day. And... you know, I mean, there's obviously more points they can improve. From what they did here, I don't think it's necessarily bad. I love, again, the layout of the town. I love the clear devotion to the lore for that. Rebecca Sugar actually contributed to the game. She created Hessenite. She did some of the story elements for the game as well. So you can really tell it feels like a Steven Universe product.
Here you go, and now Connie comes in to do damage after these guys take their turn. I may have bitten off more than I could chew there. Oh well, going in.
Yeah, you want to kill that guy, because he takes, like, absolutely forever to aim. But I'll tell you now, with Connie here, she's probably one of the best damage dealers, at least, you know, within my own build experience for that. But she gets some moves that just make her damage output absolutely crazy down the line.
Okay, that's the main threat taken away. By the way, can I just say, amazing attention to detail. I don't know if you'll be able to catch this on YouTube, but when Greg started tuning his guitar, the background music got a bit of a guitar overlay on it.
Yeah, and the when the music is playing, like the battle music, whatever jam Greg is playing, it adjusts accordingly for that. So, since I was playing the Star Jam all game, it was pretty much that music.
Oh, you're a cheeky so-and-so, you know that. Do not attack Greg. Yes, thank you. Attack the Steven.
Yeah, you'll want to protect Greg. Later on, there's some abilities to kind of stack him with. You can build up, you know, their kudos for that, because we do want to show off their team-up abilities for that. And again, fusions are part of this game.
That poor guy. He was all ready to attack, and now so am I.
Alright, here we go. Let's, well, obviously we know what they're gonna do, so let's pop it and see what we can do.
Let's do it to it.
First appearing in Alone Together in Season 1, it's Devonni.
There we go.
I'm gonna give you a lot of lore and, like, episode title tubs and whatnot. Not numbers, though. I'm not that cool.
Now, the thing with Stevani and the fusion in this game is that they, like with everybody else, they also take points to kind of run for that. But the problem is a lot of their moves are more expensive. And as a result, if you kind of have to lean on them with the point economy being the way it is, I just didn't find it as effective to fuse. I barely fused in this game, I'm going to be honest with you. Again, I was mostly running with my Connie build, quote-unquote, for that kind of thing. But again, fusions are here. Do what you want, definitely, Tom. I'm not saying you should do it my way, but still.
Well, you're always overbearing anyway. I might as well listen to you this time.
Quest for you and me.
Right, what should we put into Steven's build, do you think?
Alright, go over on defense and go to that first gem on the line. Alright. Yeah.
Okay, I can't do that because that needs one more star, so we'll leave that there for now. Yes.
Now, here's the thing with that. I like how it does take, points to kind of set up the characters however you want for that. But my problem with that is that it ties new abilities to attributes. And as a result, if you spread yourself out, you're not going to get your abilities as quickly as you would like for that, so the game really kind of wants you to focus on a particular stat exclusively.
Right.
And yeah, it's kind of a detriment, I think, because again, you want to get particular abilities to help everybody out for that, but as a result, you're going to have to make some really lopsided characters to be the most effective.
It's weird. Suke-Sam is like the only well-rendered townie, as in he has like properly drawn eyes and whatnot and a proper character model in the show that has never had any kind of focus or like attention in the actual show.
I did not even know Suitcase-Sam was a thing until this game.
Oh, Jesus. Alright, Greg, let's set you up, mate, and get the kapow going, shall we?
Alright, get him, and then we're gonna take out Mr. Redman over there.
Yeah, everything I do is perfect.
Now, there are, like, in some fights, you have ledges, and Steven, his shields, his, charging star, it has a knockback. So you can actually knock them off cliffs, and that's actually really helpful against some enemies.
Ooh. Alright, Connie, go in, do the damage.
Yeah, focus on that red guy first.
No, not Greg! There is actually a thing you can get for Greg, where he'll basically keep playing if you get like a perfect block or whatever.
Usually what I like to do is I like to focus on protecting him for that, so I'll have Steven drop a bubble over him, which will shield the hit, and he doesn't have to stop playing, which you want him to play as much as possible, because you have to spend star points to get him to jam again, so that's something I tried to avoid.
Come on, yeah, there we go. Yeah, get the red guy.
Yeah, have Connie mop him up, the rest of them are pretty easy.
And Steven... Actually, no, Greg. Come on, start tuning again. There we go. Don't worry, we'll get to the actual mission that Mayor Dewey gave us in a second. I just want to get some levels in first.
Yeah, don't worry about that. But, I don't know if he wanted to go find the crystal gems at this point. But, yeah, we'll just kind of look around for that key first.
Well, I think we actually have to find the key before that opens up, because that is a story mission, if I recall correctly.
Ah, yes, that's true.
Damn, that's going to take a bit of getting used to.
It's kind of hard again because it's really quasi-position based. It's hard to kind of line up enemies to do like multiple hits like that, so it's kind of dicey.
Alright, Connie's getting a boost in her attack right away. Connie moves to her ally and enters a protective stance, blocking incoming damage against ally and automatically counterattacking. Nice.
Not a bad ability, but if she's protecting, then she's not attacking, and that's not what you need to be doing. You need to be constantly attacking with Connie.
Fair enough, mate. Straight into attack, do you think?
Check out, like, you can just highlight it, the gem, on her stat here, and it can tell you the ability. Deep Cut that's okay. Go down the line a little bit.
Oh, okay.
To like the different abilities. Confident Strike is okay. Go to the very end. I didn't get this last ability. You get that after a while. I think also with Teamwork you're gonna get some other abilities as well. That's like fusion ability. I'm sorry, the ability to build your friendship shit earlier.
Study ability effect now extends to nearby allies. Study is basically buff. Once you use that in conjunction with her naturally high attack, you can basically break the game. But yeah, we're just going to put this into attack for now.
Yeah, just kind of pump it in there. You just, pretty much when you're dumping points into them, you want to know the next ability you want to go towards.
Okay, so we had to take out people anyway. Let's see. Got a real good feeling about the next one. Oh, Greg, ever the optimist.
I guess you have to be, considering what's going on.
You can open the backpack outside of battle too.
I've got just the thing.
Okay, so I guess you want me to heal Greg. Yeah.
And then you showed me recently that on Cookie Cat, half of it is like white frosting, half of it is pink frosting. I'm like, I didn't know that. And I'm like, oh god, they plotted that plot twist since the actual beginning.
Oh, he's a frozen treat with an all-new taste, and etc. I'm not going to sing the whole fucking thing.
He left his family behind.
A refugee from interstellar war. I can see the lighthouse and a very snoozy pink lion snoozing at the top of it.
When are we gonna talk to Ronaldo, the best character?
Alright, cards on the table. What do you feel about Ronaldo? I need to know this in the first part.
I totally get if any of you guys out there do not like Ronaldo, because he is a particular archetype. You know, a very cringy, kind of, let's face it, socially awkward, ridiculous otaku. That's what he is. Personally, I think Ronaldo's fucking hilarious. He's easily my favorite townie just because he says the dumbest fucking shit, and he makes me laugh every single time. But again, I completely understand if you don't like him because of who he is. That's fine.
Okay. Ooh, hello. A guy with a shield. And he got me first, yes. Even this layer of Paper Mario battles is prevalent here. Attack outside a bow, you get like a preemptive strike, but get hit before then, and hoo-hoo.
The shield guides are tougher because, again, you have to attack them from the back. Later on, you get abilities that can actually break that shield, but until then, you know, you might have to, again, kind of attack them from the back.
Alright, shield guy is giving me willies right away, so I'm just going to take him out first and foremost.
Have Connie attack again.
Ah, yes. There you go.
There you go. See, again, that's another thing that makes Connie good. Her attack's really good. Her main attack ability is cheap. And again, when you're stacking buffs, later on, I know her study buff, I got it down to like 1 point, and she had an ability where she would basically get her abilities for free sometimes. So I was just studying, and that's how I kill bosses.
Nice. I think we could, you know, stand to put a few fusions in there, but, you know, you are the guy who's completed the game, and I'm the noob who's just here doing whatever.
No, it's fine. I mean, like, if you had a particular party build you wanted to do, that's completely fine. But I'll tell you, my in-game build was literally Steven, Connie, Greg, and it depended. The fourth one was kind of dicey. I usually had Garnet because she had a really good shield breaker ability, which is useful.
Okay. Actually, speaking of the Crystal Gems, you do get a choice of which one you team up with first, so when we get to that, I'm expecting you to make the right choice and pick Amethyst.
What? Why?
Because I like Amethyst, she's great.
Well, it's your playthrough. I guess we can go with Amethyst first.
Our playthrough, mate. You are also here in the core, you know.
Well, that's true, but when I played the game, I honestly picked my favorite Crystal Gem, so...
I just love how Greg's done nothing in this battle. Are you winning, son?
Yeah, make sure your friend can play too.
Yeah, wow!
There's another ability where if everybody else dies, the last enemy kind of gets a rage buff, and if you don't kill the right people accordingly, that can bite you on the ass.
Ooh, shit. Alright, a level up for Greg, and we got the the key to the city, it seems. I love that joke in Dewey Wins, which is Season 5, Episode 5, I believe, where when he concedes to Nanafor, he says you can get the key to the city under the city welcoming bar. See, SU is not a series I would say is laugh out loud funny, but it has a very quirky, sort of modern, humorous take with a lot of absurdities and whatnot. Very Looney Tunes-esque at times, but it's also a very grounded show. Even if it's, you know, half of it is crazy space matriarchs, you know, the Diamond Authority and whatnot, more of which later, and the other half is like shenanigans and the townie stuff, and that's why I will always defend the townie side of the show, because without it, the space side would not be as interesting.